In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to calculate percentiles in Excel. So we're going to use these two columns of data here to calculate the 10th percentile and the 20th percentile as an example. So to calculate the 10th percentile, what that means is I'm going to find the number in this list of values if they were sorted from smallest to largest. I'm going to find the number so that 10% of the numbers fall below and 90% fall above. So in order to do this, we need to make a formula in Excel. And whenever you create a formula in Excel, you're going to start off with the equal sign. So in this box right here, I'm going to hit the equal sign. And then I'm going to start typing the command percentile. And I'm going to find percentile. Now, the next step is to highlight all the values in your list that you want to calculate the percentile for. So I'm going to highlight all of these values and I'm going to hit enter. And then the next step is I'm going to tell Excel what percentile I want it to calculate. So since it's the 10th percentile, that means 10% is below, 90% is above. And we're going to put 10% in as a decimal. You always want to put this in as a decimal, this last value. So 10% of the decimal is 0.10. Then I'm going to close the parentheses so you can see my command up here. It's equals percentile in all capital letters, but you can click on the command as it comes up. Then you're going to highlight the cells for which you're going to find the percentile for. And then the last value is the actual percentile that you want to find in decimal form. Then I'm going to hit enter. So the value is 32.2, which means if I were to sort all of these numbers from smallest to largest, the number 32.2 would split the data up so that 10% falls below 32.2, is less than 32.2, and 90% is bigger than 32.2. A second example, let's try it again just to practice, is the 20th percentile. So whenever we set up a formula in Excel, we're going to do equals. Then I'm going to start typing percentile so that my function comes up, and I'm going to hit percentile. Then I'm going to highlight all the values. And then once I have those values up there, the last part of the array, I'm going to put in the percentile that I want in decimal form. So if I want 20% of the values to be less than and 80% to be above, then I want the 20th percentile, which is a decimal, would be 0.20. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to close my parentheses, and I'm going to hit enter. So this number here, 39.6, represents that the 20th percentile, which means if I put all of these values in order, 39.6 would break up the sorted list so that 20% of the data is less than 39.6 and 80% of the data is above or more than 39.6. And this is how you calculate percentiles in Excel.